It's a part of shamanism, right? The trees and silence and sounds and cold winters. That's the way how, I guess, shamanism as a phenomena was born, um, since the first, like human being, first time realized that there are us, there is a nature, and there's a cosmos, and everything is interconnected. And this phenomena actually widespread everywhere. There's so many shamanic cultures. The word shaman comes from Tungu's word called saman, and it means a person who knows. Shamans are people who can travel between the realms, meaning they can be in a different state of consciousness and retrieve very important messages from those unseen worlds in order to help community or the sick one. Shamans are multi-talented people who were spiritual leaders and who were doctors, who were entertainers, herbalists, bone adjusters, who would do non-surgical operations on people, who were great storytellers, and just good-hearted people. But some of them might fall into, because they're all human, they can also embody the dark side of the human consciousness and go into competition and even fight with each other. Um, but the main phenomena, it still remains as a mystery. No one can explain it. And the fact that the shamanism, it comes from the Tungus culture, because the Western society recognized it, right? So they called this phenomenon as a shamanism coming from the Tungus word. Doesn't mean that it was born, in Arctic Siberia. There are no any archives or any, old data that can show that it was particularly born there, but it was preserved in Arctic Siberia in a way that in a very raw state. And there are many cultures, shamanic cultures, that in order to fall into trance, the shamans would take plant medicine or something, some substance that is provided by the Mother Nature to fall into trance. In my culture, in Sakha culture, we don't have plant medicine. Some of the tribes, Italmen, Koryak, and Chukchi people would use Amanita muscaria in their ceremonies. But Sakha people, Sakha shamans didn't need that because it it is connected directly to the mental health, like the way that body reacts and consciousness reacts to the phenomena. And we see it as an energy going through the body, and the body would react, and the symptoms would be very similar to, as you say, as you recognize it in the Western side of the world, as schizophrenia or seizures or bipolar or epilepsy, and many other symptoms. It could be also non-diagnosed, not recognized pain in the body. And the future shaman would experience that, and in this reality be in agony and almost laying on the bed, being so weak and in a great pain for many, like months or even years, dependent on the power of shaman. The more you suffer, more powerful shaman you could become. And in their dreams, they go through this eteni process, which is tearing apart. Their bodies are eaten by the spirits, the helper spirits of the underground, and they come and eat, and only bones are left. And the bones are taken care by the teacher of shaman, Emegetamersin, one-eyed, one-handed, and one-legged woman who takes care of those bones until the new body is built by the same spirits who eaten. So it shows a great experience of rebirth, and once that happens, then the shaman, the person, no longer a human being, like the normal, no longer lives the normal life, but becomes a shaman, a healer, a great healer of the land, of the community, and of the people. And there are so many similarities as I learn more about other shamanic cultures. This whole process of rebirth, of becoming shaman, exists in many cultures. And it has different forms that quite often some cracking the body, like I heard in Australia, they open up the scalp and they put crystals, which is an incredible, comparison with even our cell phones, because it has a crystals. And I quite often compare, the new technology with the ancient technology, because science tries to keep up with ancient technology by hacking and the new realms and how to communicate with those realms and create it. We create the machines and devices in order to embody those power, but shamans were embodying those power without any device. They would just have their bodies as a super machine, if you will. Yeah, these bodies were created by the, we don't know who did create, but those are very powerful supercomputers, super machines that we have, that we own, that we are lucky to have as a home for our souls for this lifetime. And and then every single powerful shamans who lived, they played a huge role for each generation to survive because of their knowledge, because of their visions. Even, like the thing like locating dead people, locating someone who was lost in the forest, locating a game meat for hunters. And of course, one of the powerful contribution of the shamans is this, learning about anatomy and learning about sickness and healing tools, and also interacting with weather. When there's a dry season, they will call rain. Today time, it's a little bit different, but still this human phenomena as a shamanism stays very strong in our modern life. And I sometimes, when I see, there are gifted people around the world and here in the United States. As I travel to different communities, I can spot these people. I can see there are also new generation, young people, kids growing and coming to this earth, being as earth warriors and gifted ones. And their portals are open. And I have this a great hope for humanity to, to communicate with the mystery of the world, and that helps us to survive and pass the knowledge and wisdom from generation to another.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.